I could say a lot of things about the magic of WayHaught. How Waverly and Nicole have made an indelible mark on LGBTQ pop culture. How a fandom became a movement. But right now, there's only 3 words that matter. And that's fight for Wynonna. So let's show them what 1,000 Earpers sound like, all right? Say it with me now. Fight for Wynonna! Fight for Wynonna! Fight for Wynonna! Now please welcome to the stage Wynonna Earp, showrunner and writer Emily Andras, and WayHaught themselves, Katherine Barrell and Dominque Provost-Chalkley. Before we get started, let's give some love to these Earpers who have been busting their asses to show everyone how important Wynonna Earp is and why we need it. So.
Hi, Dana.
Ladies.
Dana, everybody.
Anything new? No, but seriously, I know that fans are stressed out. You're all stressed out. What is the situation as we stand?
What's the situation? No. I feel like the situation is hopeful. I wish that I could come up here and tell you 100%. I am positive. I'm feeling hopeful. I think we're close. I think, first of all, I would just like to personally thank everybody for rallying when we needed you to, yet again. I'm sorry you didn't get your hiatus, but we really needed you. And 5 seconds in, I'm going to cry. You've made me so proud. Thank you so much for showing up. Look at you all. Look at us all. It's just impossible to ignore. People know we're on the right side. We have so many. I got one, baby. Thank you. It's not my first day. I just feel like, you know, part of me when we put out the rallying cry wasn't sure. I mean, there's a lot of good TV on right now. Legends is great. Maybe you've all moved on, and that would be okay. It's wonderful. So thank you. I just have never bet against you and would never bet against you. And more importantly, you shouldn't bet against you. Okay? So I'm very hopeful we're going to get it done. And we'll get some more of what you saw if you tolerate a few more WayHaught kisses. We have every intention of continuing their beautiful story. So thank you.
Okay, so let's get to the real reason why we're here. This panel is called The Magic of WayHaught. Quite magical, are they not? So I want all of you to tell me what you think that really is. What is the magic of WayHaught?
I mean, like, this is the magic of WayHaught, I think. I think that
the magic of WayHaught was one of the first, I think, examples in pop culture of how powerful a fandom can be when they finally see themselves on screen. And I think what we've been able to witness with how incredible the past 4 years have been. We were talking about this a little bit last night. It's when you take a community of people that don't feel represented in a way that makes their hearts happy and makes them feel seen and makes them feel loved and included and accepted and celebrated. But when you do that, it's like you can create things like this. You can move mountains. And I think that's the power of WayHaught.
I mean, it goes without question that it's the two amazing women sitting next to me, right? Nobody else could have made WayHaught truly magical except these two extraordinary actresses and their commitment. And just, I'm so proud that both Nicole and Waverly are two completely different LGBTQ women. Do you know what I mean? It gives me so much joy to be able to write such different, real, three-dimensional women who have found each other. They're not exactly the same, but they're perfect together. And I just think it speaks so much to Dom and Kat and just their trust and their chemistry and their hard work. So I'm so immensely proud of them. Just watching that video, how far they've come. But from the first second, you just could see it. So I think it's Dom and Kat, right?
Yeah. So hi guys. I think I'm a little bit speechless, to be honest, from that video. I was bawling my little eyes out back there because it's like we have come on so far. Not just us, but the whole show and everything. It's from the first time we came to ClexaCon to now, we've all been on such a journey, you know? And seeing you guys back here, seeing some of the same faces, seeing how much you guys have come on, and how much we've all solidified even further, I just think that that kind of magic doesn't go unnoticed, and that's the reason why we have to go back. Please.
We will.
Please.
Dom, I'm going to stick with you for this moment here. Learning that Waverly was, I don't know, half angel, how'd that go over when you first found out?
Everybody found out, I think, before me, and then I was like, what?
Right?
And Em was like, wait, you didn't know? Do you remember we were at the other two? It's the second time for something, yeah. But I kind of love that about our journey with the show, because every time I read anything, to be honest with you, I was just as happy about all the tiny little scenes and tiny little nuances in Waverly's journey. Yes, it was epic, and obviously I really want wings at some point. And but yeah, it's just yet another gift on the road of Waverly's journey.
So Kat, in season 3, Nicole picks up a lot more responsibility, becomes the sheriff. What was it like for you to have Nedley hand over this huge responsibility to Nicole, and having Nicole step up in an even bigger way than she ever had before?
I think Nicole, it was scary for her. I think because she's got, not only is it her job, but it's her family. And we are such a tight-knit group, and she knows so much about the supernatural going-ons of Purgatory. So I think she really knew. I think when she came to Purgatory, she thought it was going to be more of a normal job. And but
naturally in a town called Purgatory.
Naturally. But so I think she feels the heat. But I think it was also a bit bittersweet. I remember doing those scenes with Greg when Nedley was handing Nicole the reins over. And it was a bit scary for me because I didn't know what was going to happen with Greg's character. He was like, I'm done, I'm off the show. And I continuously told him, they're never going to get rid of Nedley. There's no way, we're going to unleash
Not
him
our
now.
Nedley.
No. But there's so many layers with Nicole and Nedley. There's a father-daughter relationship that has become so much clearer, especially this season. The fact that he was looking over her since she was a little girl was just like the most beautiful thing.
It was written by Noelle Carboni, who is right here. Stand up, you beautiful Canadian.
Yes, stand
Please.
up, stand up. That episode
I can
also
see her
had
blush
some,
from here.
Some gnome wives, some Nicole and Wynonna handcuffed together. Basically, your classic masterpiece. So go see her later and say congrats. Yeah.
I just think thank you for that amazing episode. I have never gotten to be part of an episode that went in a million different emotional directions, all within 50 pages. It was a masterpiece. It was a masterpiece. It was incredible. 100%.
So Dom, I want to congrats you. Oh, it's Sunday. I want to congratulate you on your Canadian Screen Award.
Crazy beans. Totally crazy beans, you guys.
A little birdie told me, and her name actually is Dominique, and it was on YouTube,
She sounds great.
that, and I'm not going to put you on the spot because it's Sunday and everyone's tired and your eyes they look like they're about to cry. But apparently you were planning to look up an audition scene. And that you might reenact the fateful moment at the next convention you were attending, but here we are.
Guys. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm really silly. For promising things. Really silly for promising things. In Seattle, that panel was like amazing in so many ways, I think. Ooh, my microphone keeps going in and out. I felt like I had a huge, I'm going to be super honest, I had a big breakthrough on that panel where for the first time in my life I was up on stage, which is crazy because it was like the most intense stage. Do you remember? With all the couch and the sparkles in the sky and all the stuff. It was crazy. But I for the first time was just like quite relaxed, which is not normal for me when there's loads of people. Because it is really scary. We support you. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate that. But on that panel, I was like, I have got this life thing. I am just gonna I'll promise that. And now I'm here, and I'm regretting it so much. And I'm wondering whether you will commit me something that I will choose when I feel like the moment is right in the next few conventions. The world to me.
We're getting you a new mic. We're getting you one. It's coming. It's coming.
There it is.
You're so whizzy. Thank you. Thank you so much. If you would be so kind as to do that, then I think that the moment will come and it will be glorious. And I won't freak out and it'll be great. Thanks, guys.
Anything for you, Dom. Anything you say. So, Emily, obviously, you watched the situation in 2016, the Bury Your Gays situation, very closely, and your cast became very well educated on LGBTQ rep in media. What have you seen change from your position in the industry in these last 3 years, and what advice would you give to showrunners who have queer or trans characters and don't want to fall into those tired, familiar tropes?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think I've seen not enough, but I do think it's getting. I just think we're not moving fast enough. But wow, what a year that was, 2016. That was a crazy year, and look what happened. Look what positivity came out of it, if I may say that. I think that there's so much more awareness now among writers and decision makers and showrunners that the LGBTQ community has been so harmed by this ridiculous trope, and more importantly, that we're not going to fucking put up with it anymore. And remember that, like, your eyeballs are your currency. If you don't like it, don't watch it. You can tell them you don't like it before you don't watch it. That's fine.
Oh, they'll tell them.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Please do. What was the second part of your question? I'm so sorry.
Just what advice would you give?
Oh, what advice?
Yeah.
I'm going to be totally honest. I would say my advice is ask for some advice. Like, I would love to write a trans character, for example, and I got asked that question a lot. I cannot imagine living that experience or writing that character without speaking to people in the trans community. You know what I mean? And I'm really good at a lot of stuff and really bad at a lot of stuff, but I have no problem anymore reaching out to someone who has more experience and wants to hear about what they would want in that story and what they would want in that character and whatnot. So I honestly just think, like, you got to put your ego aside and not be afraid to speak to those communities who you want to represent. I think that's critical, and ironically, the more, for lack of a better term, successful I feel like I've been in my career, the more comfortable I would be 100% saying, what was it like? How did you know? What was your transition experience like? What do you wish you could see on screen? What do you think about it every day of your life? Is it just part of your life? What do you think we can have a trans villain? What would that look like? You know what I mean? Do you think it's too early to do that? I think that's my advice, is I just think we need to reach out. Do you know what I mean? And also, obviously, hire more people from the community in writing rooms is huge. We're just trying as fast as we can. And in Canada, I feel like hopefully we're moving a little bit faster. But we just need to get more people from the LGBT community into positions where they can tell their own storytelling. And that's why it's so important, a con like this, where you are telling your own stories, where there's so many incredible projects and films and web series. And I'm so proud of you, even just seeing, like, where it's come from first year we came here. Look at this, it's just been amazing. Please keep telling your stories, and then hire me when I'm washed up so I can come watch for you. But it's extraordinary. So I am encouraged, if that makes sense.
I have receipts on you, Andras.
Good. I
And
feel...
she practices what she preaches from the get-go. From somebody who's been in this industry on the other side, Emily has always been checking in from the get-go, like from season one. This is something I knew this show would be special when Emily made it a point to say, like, hey, I want to connect with you and the people in your community. So
I think I've also made mistakes. Like, I'll be totally frank about it, and, like, I hear about it a lot. I definitely have stories that I would do much differently now than I did when I was younger and a little more naive. And I stand by those mistakes because I feel they've helped me become who I am. So thank you for saying that, but I completely acknowledge that I'm still learning. So thank you.
So Wynonna Earp is a wonderful example of a show that has figured out how to have same-sex couples still find themselves in a lot of drama, but not have their relationship be the crux of all of that drama. Meaning, a breakup isn't always hanging over their head. I mean, they might be eaten by a demon or a tree monster any day of the week, but it's not about the relationship. So has that really freed you up as actors and as a writer to really go interesting new places with these characters? On a roll!
It's still a challenge, right? Like, the truth is, people do break up and they do get into trouble and things happen in their relationship. Everyone's like, what? But I think a lot of drama just comes from who you are as people and not always being on the same page about what you want or where you're at, or who's possessed by a tentacle or who's not, depending on the day. I don't know, has it freed you guys up? Do you feel safe?
I've always felt incredibly safe, and the thought of being freed up hasn't ever really crossed my mind because I never felt threatened or anything to begin with, or constricted to begin with, I guess. I think we've always treated our relationship on the show as the same as every other relationship on the show, so I've never really felt the extra layer of, because it's two women in this relationship, it's any different or there's anything to be shackled by.
Well, bless you for feeling that way, but
No, 100%, yeah.
it's not everybody feels that way that makes these shows, though. But
Yeah, so that would be my experience. I've never felt the shackle to begin with.
At all.
yeah,
At all. That's true. Just, yeah.
So, what have been some of your favorite moments of season 3? Since we can't really talk about season 4 yet.
Well, in season 4,
we got some good stuff cooking though, I think, if we get to do it again. I'm excited. I mean, if we can find you guys. Just kidding.
you know where to find us.
What were your favorite moments of season 3?
Season 3.
It's been a while.
Right? Yeah. Wow.
I think Dom and Kat had some extraordinary performances. I think they really came into their own. I really do love Gnome Wife episode. I love the episode
Yeah, that
where
was
Kat
fun.
is with Melanie, Wynonna. I just think Kat is the greatest drunk actor of our time.
Guys, everyone needs a skill.
Yeah.
Everyone needs something.
To be clear, she's not an alcoholic in real life. So when you put the headline, but playing drunk.
It's a skill.
I think Dominique has never been better than an episode called Jolene. And I feel a little guilty, but I can't imagine what it took to get there. I think it would have been very personal and very, very grueling, particularly the scene in the greenhouse with Zoe Palmer. It was wonderful. But God, it was a tour de force, Dom. It was incredible. It felt so real. And thank you so much for getting what we were trying to do with that episode. We were incredibly nervous about it. Written by Shelley Scarrow. I should just give her a shout out too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
I'm trying to...
No, absolutely. That was, it was without a doubt the most challenging scene I've ever filmed, but without a doubt the most rewarding as well, I would say. I'm wearing the shirt because it means so much to me. I actually had something completely different planned to wear today, and then I woke up and put it on and was like, oh, I'm just going to put my I'm Here and I Stay shirt on because it's a good reminder for me because I did have to go dig pretty deep into all of that stuff that maybe we don't show as much to the rest of the world. And I find it really, really tricky watching that scene back. I actually stumbled upon it the other day on YouTube and was like, whoa. Yeah, it was like it popped up. Do you ever get that? Like all those
I get a lot of us
clips.
kissing.
Yeah, a lot of us kissing. Suggestions of things you might like, and you're like, oh, so good. But yeah, I just feel so blessed that I got gifted that scene, and that it has helped me immensely on my own journey with myself. So
Was it challenging during the proposal scene when those 5,000 Canadian geese showed up? It was so much honking. I can't believe you guys kept a straight face. Like, I am talking, there was a pond right behind the homestead, like maybe 25,000 Canadian geese. And I was like, who let all these Earpers on set? Oh my God. We're giving you a proposal. Shut up. It was crazy.
Like, fight, fart, Wynonna, right?
Wynonna. Interrupting Wynonna.
No, that was we were at the end of a day on a Friday, and we filmed multiple versions of that scene. Mm-hmm. And it was very interesting to see what you guys ended up choosing.
That was Noelle's idea. Just kidding.
This year, y'all just pulled out all the stops with the guest stars. Zoe Palmer, Jan Arden, Anna Silk, Megan Follows. I mean, come on, Emily.
Listen, I'm
I know you're the one behind all this fabulosity. How did you assemble this Avengers team of guest stars?
This Canadian Avengers team in their parkas. I think it speaks to the fact that the show is in its third season, to be honest. And look, we film in the middle of the winter in Calgary, Alberta. It's pretty cold there. Shout out to any Calgarians here. I met a few. That's right, babies. So I think the one thing we've always had on our set, I hope this is true, is we kind of have a no asshole policy, and we really do try to have a good time. So I feel like amongst actors, we have a reputation now as being really fun and free, and you can come, and Zoe Palmer can sing a song and try to kill Dominique, and it's a whole thing. And so I called in a lot of favors, but I do think, look, the show now has a bit of cachet. It's well known for its fan base, but also truly, I think we are known as a really kind, fun set. And a chance to it's an amazing genre show. You can come and spread your wings and play a crazy character. Who doesn't want to do that, I assume, as an actor? Yeah.
I think it's like a huge kudos to Emily and our producing team, because being on the actor side of it, I have so many peers coming up to me and saying, like, I want to be on your show so bad. I would love to work on Wynonna. And people who I know want to come back that have so many options open to them, especially in the directing side of things, who are like, I will come back and do Wynonna, even though I have all these options. They want to come back because it's an incredibly special environment that you've created. And I think the amazing thing about Emily is that she is so unique in the fact that she hires people to work for her, and then she actually gives them she empowers them to do what she hired them to do. And that is an incredibly rare quality in a lot of producers, but she trusts her people, and
I'm just lazy.
No. But I think it needs to be said, because you've created that environment, and you've created a place where creative people feel like they can actually do their job, and the crew gets the power to make the decisions, and then they get behind the show, and it's just a beautiful example, it's been to me, of how to lead a team.
Thank you so much.
Perfectly.
Thank you so much.
So while we are waiting for Wynonna to get back on track, can you share with us some other things that you all have been working on, or at least gave us vague descriptions of stuff and things? I know, Dom, you just were recently announced that you're going to be in a Christmas queer movie, Seasons of Love through Tello. So I'd love to hear about that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Actually, I haven't spoken to either of these ladies about it. So,
By the way,
no, I know. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I read the script and was like, I've always wanted to do like a rom-com kind of thing, but if you're going to do a rom-com, why not do it about something that pushes the boundaries a little bit and gives this beautiful community what they so deserve, a happy ending. Yeah, a happy ending. And for me personally, the reason why the role stuck out to me so much is because I feel like, so I took some time off and went traveling to Brazil for 5 months I think everyone probably knows that. But, huh? Who's Carla? Oh, right, yeah, that was I was traveling with her last time when we went to Southeast Asia. Is that what you mean? Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Is your name Carla, or are you just yelling at your name? You got to plug yourself. It's okay. I like it.
But yes, and that role, the one thing I connected with most when I was traveling was my love for music. And
You're going to sing?
I have
Putting
to
out an
sing
album?
and play guitar in it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and so I think it will be like a real pushing myself to. It's so funny. The character in it has like crippling anxiety about doing it. So when I was reading it, I was like, oh, I get this. Like, this is gonna be good. So I think that hopefully it should push me to do some things that scare me.
For me, I'm doing like all these spaghetti at the wall things of trying to make other projects. So I've been working on a little web series called Pooched, which you guys have been so supportive with the Traveling Bernies. Thank you guys. So I just want you really quickly to know, we didn't get IPF, but I also want you to know it was the third time I've been rejected by the IPF, so I'm really used to it. But we've moved on to explore more funding. We actually took all the metrics of all the engagement you guys did and put together this huge marketing document, and it's really, really boring but very helpful. And so thank you for that. And then I've also spent the last year developing a half-hour warm family comedy that I was during Canadian Screen Week actually in Toronto also to pitch that to some networks, which was a really exciting experience for me to get to that stage with a project. And I'm taking the directing program at UCLA right now. Awesome! It's been a lot of like on the other side, developing myself and being back in school has been exhilarating. And I go through like, I'm terrified I could never do this to like, oh, maybe I could be okay at this. And it's this huge cycle, but like what an amazing learning curve. And I just like, I saw you, I'm so energized. I feel my creative spirit is on fire and I'm so excited. So those are the two things. And then one more like little thingy is very small. It's an embryo right now. So it's coming. Not that. Not a baby. I am not pregnant. Let's be clear. I'm not pregnant.
Holy shit. You gotta warn me before that happens.
Sorry. No. Let's clarify.
Noelle, get the whiteboard.
Don't print the...
Get the whiteboard.
The idea is a little jewel? Do we want to call it that instead? So a few things are happening. Jesus Christ, sorry. So sorry.
You can't spook me. Triplets? Great.
Write them in.
Whatever.
Fuck, sorry.
You want to get birth on the show? We got that. Just kidding. I'm so sorry to interrupt. I kind of blacked out. I'm so sorry.
No.
If that was the way that you released it as well.
I can't imagine.
Sorry. That's it. I'm going to stop now. That's the end.
No,
Tell us about your jewel.
Clarify what this embryo is, please.
It's my, I have a feature. I've been on a journey to find a feature film that I want to have my first feature because directors are really held to their first feature, and if it's shit, then it kind of like haunts you. And so I think found what it's going to be. So now it's just needs to grow and massage, not inside of my body. Just to clarify. Yeah.
This is a safe space. You're among friends. It's all good.
Emily?
Wow.
Do you need a sip of water?
No, I'm good. You honestly can't spook me anymore. Maybe if you both were. I don't know. Challenge accepted. No, I'm just kidding. I have been developing a lot of stuff. But mostly I have been trying to fight for this. I'm thinking about joining Twitter, maybe. I hear that's fun and a good place to stay professional. No, I'm developing stuff all the time, but I almost I don't want to get too far down the road because this has my heart, and I'm going to fight for this forever. But obviously, I'm always looking at new properties, new comic books. If anyone knows anything good, feminist, LGBTQ stuff, that's kind of my wheelhouse. I never want to leave that. SyFy is always looking for new stuff, so I do have a few ideas and a few properties I'm pursuing. But mostly, I just yell about this and make phone calls, and I'm happy to do it. And I'm ready to go. We have 6 outlines pretty much ready to go. So we got to figure out how to get some people out of the garden, and if there was a barber in there, just like
It'll grow,
So
guys.
I'm not worried about what's next for me personally. I'm so happy these guys are doing stuff, though. I think everybody should do their stuff. For me, I'm just like, nope. I just want to finish this story and tell this story. So, like, finish it in 10 years. Don't worry.
What else can we do?
That's such a good question. I really wish I just could come out and say what I want to say. But it has mattered so much. I know sometimes it feels like you're just yelling into the void. I met so many fans who got quite tearful, and I get it, who just feel like angry and frustrated. I think this has made such an enormous difference, and I really want you to know that everybody behind the scenes is, I believe the technical term is pooping their pants. No, they're busting their butt. And we have so many people who aren't as vocal as us behind the scenes working their ass off. We have so many good people in the press, Bridget, all you guys, who are making sure we're being heard. I think just the fact that it is getting picked up showcases what a ridiculous situation this is. We have people who want to help us make it. There's one thing I'm going to say that's a little controversial. There's been a talk about funding it from the fans. I don't want to take your money that way, if that's okay. If you want to buy a cheerleading outfit, I got one. If you want to buy a set visit, that's fine. I think that's a last resort. I think right now these are companies that are big companies that make a product that you do buy by consuming it. So let's give them the chance to do what they said they would do. I would just say, please don't give up hope. No, there's so much we can't say, but if things took a turn and things weren't going well, I would put up the bat signal, the WayHaught signal. What's the WayHaught signal? It's a pair of angel wings. No, what is it? So you're doing what you're doing. Just like, please keep yelling, if that's okay. So thank you. That's it.
I think we can handle that.
Okay, good, yeah. Polite, no chill.
I know you have a ton of questions, so let us open the audience Q&A, please.
Murder tree.
Murder tree.
Murder tree.
I'm not that tall. I appreciate it, but I'm not that tall. Tree number 5.
Hi. Love your work.
Thank you. It's actually a question about that. We were wondering if you have any plans for like a murder tree redemption arc. Asking for a friend. Asking for a friend.
What about a murder tree love triangle? Like,
I think we're
like
open.
Waverly's in the garden. She meets a soft, vulnerable
There's trees in the garden.
poplar.
Yeah, trees in the garden. Trees in the garden.
Listen, it's that kind of show, you know. I hear Sigourney Weaver is interested in coming on as a tree. That's a total lie. But absolutely. I don't know if we're done telling the story of the trees. We don't really know what the hell was happening with them. So
We're good, guys. We're good.
Thank you.
have your agents call me for audition.
Hello, ladies. I'm Jen from the Earp Fiction Addiction, the podcast all about Wynonna Earp fan fiction. As promised, I'm here to ask for yet another fic prompt for our lovely authors.
Did you do the Guayaba one?
Yes.
Oh my
People
goodness!
boiled
Did you
goyava.
see it?
Yeah.
I know.
They can't read it. You can't
No.
read it, but yes, people did. Yes.
Did it go down
For
well?
reasons,
Yes, it
right? They can't read it.
They can't read. Yeah, I know you can't read the fiction, but while we don't have canon content right now, we do have fic. Then that is helping us kind of get through. So yeah,
I'm so glad it exists. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, FIC is a huge resource for the fandom, and we love it when we get a prompt, either intentional or not, from you guys. So, yeah,
They're in a boat.
awesome.
That's it, just the boat?
You guys can add.
One of them has amnesia.
Okay.
And something to do with bad seafood.
Okay, FIC authors, you've got it. In a boat, bad seafood with
Caparel,
amnesia.
bring in the sex. Bring in the sexy.
Thank you, ladies.
Hi, I've
Joe.
always wanted to do a thing that scared me. So I'm speaking in front of God knows how many Earpers.
Oh, Joe.
Love you, Joe.
we've seen Wynonna Earp really take off over the past few years with EarpCon popping up all over the US and Canada, all over. And it's a generous, loving fandom, and people have found love and they've found family. And what has it been like for you to witness that in real life and online as well?
Well done, Joe.
Joe.
Legend.
It's still so surreal for me. I can't believe you get what we're trying to do with the show and enjoy our stories. And I think one of my favorite things is just how warm and generous you are about all the crazy things we do on the show. You're part of the joke and you're part of the family. And that's why it makes me so happy that you're fighting, because I've said this to a few fans. I really feel like you built this. This is your show too, and you have the right to save it. Do you know what I mean? We were talking a bit about our first ClexaCon, and when we walked out to the WayHaught panel, the first year, I just knew this was once in a lifetime. And Kat made everyone do the wave. Should we do it again?
We gotta do it again.
Yeah.
Start the wave! Hey, yeah! Hey, we're going over here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, pause. We need like way more energy thing. I know it's Sunday. Okay, let's take a second. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! That was so much better. Oh, what's it been like?
What's it been like, Kat?
I mean, like, I never ever thought that I would be part of, well, anything
Are
like
you out of breath?
I am. Clearly, I need to exercise
Fair
a little
enough.
more.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so crazy. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
I feel so fortunate as an artist to, I think you can go through a whole career without getting any sort of human connection for your work.
Yeah.
It's so rare, especially working in film and television when there is no audience present when you're working. So I think just the
doing
I'm just
something
so
that
shocked
matters.
that, you know, yeah.
Yeah. You okay?
Everyone's just so shocked about the embryo. We're just like, whoa.
Terrified, all of you.
Just kidding.
Doing something that brings light into this world, I think, is something that I've always wanted to do, something that is so important to me, sometimes I find difficult. And when I see you guys, it gives me so much strength. Does it give me strength? Is that what I mean? Sorry, I didn't know. I just want to make sure that you use the right words to describe what you're actually talking about. I think that we are all in this together, and that is something that doesn't happen very often. This world is getting more and more separate and separated and lonely and individual. And when you build a community like this, you realize that incredible things can happen. I see it in every single one of your eyes when I speak to you, that there is a spark when you're here, and that is something that is so exciting. And so thank you, Joe.
I don't know if we would be such a family if you all weren't such a family together.
We do. I think we like each other. We do. I've never had a cast like this that are just, you're all such extraordinary people inside and out. It's a shame about your faces, but we'll get through it. They are extraordinary people, and I truly think it's lightning in a bottle. I say that all the time, but that's what's made it special. But if you have a choice, you can choose to be kind, I think, and choose to be positive, and that's what we've done, and it's made all the difference. So thank you.
All right, I think Joe had a wonderful lead-in question for that. He's not looking up, though, so. Oh, well. In the spirit of kindness, and I know, Kat, you started the Earp Your Animal Shelter, Dom, start the Wave. Emily, you know, you're just a boss. And also, if everyone can please say thank you and give a big round of applause for Kat speaking about her anxiety at Green Ribbon Club's mental health auction. That was incredible. So, in that light of spreading kindness, if you can each please tell each other the singular most important memory that the two of you share, or a memory of the other person that has impacted you the most. I'm ready to make you cry.
Can you just repeat the second bit? Or
a memory of the other person that has impacted you the most.
A memory of the other.
Yeah,
okay.
no, turn to them and tell them.
One of my favorite memories with Em was in Hooters car park. Last year. I'll let you tell it because you tell it really well. But Em, it was so fun. It was the end of season two. It was the end of season 2. So it wasn't last year. It was last year? Oh my God, I'm getting so confused. How many seasons have we done? 3. So end of season 2. Yeah, end of season 2. And
End of season 2.
3, yeah.
Emily, do you want to tell the story?
It's Canadian math. It's the conversion.
Using with.
Oh, sorry, Dom.
No, it's totally fine. I'm glad. No, it's good because I remember obviously what you were talking about, Angel and all the stuff. And Em was like, do you mind if I just pitch you something? I just feel like I really need to talk about the show, about what we're doing. Is it crazy? And then she just did this huge pitch and told me the last, I think, 4 episodes. Was it? It was
episode last year.
just the last episode.
The last couple times I've come to ClexaCon, I've had to be writing the finale in my hotel room. So
it was one of the most epic things I have ever seen in my entire life. She went through all of the characters.
Where it happened?
It was in Hooters car park. And it was just, it was so special.
That was one of my favorite memories too. I was so terrified about the finale and the chainsaw, and I was doing a whole skit. But
it was unbelievable.
It's Dom is the most satisfying person to pitch because she's just like, no, what, no, what? That's one of my favorite memories too. Thank you.
No, I love that. Yeah, it's so true. What about you, Kat?
It's so hard. I think one of I don't remember what con we were at, but we were in the hotel room with Tamara Duarte and UK, yeah, and we ordered lobster fettuccine Alfredo or something like that, and we talked about motherhood, and Tamara had just had her baby. And we were talking about, you guys were kind of telling me what it felt like to be mothers. And it was so affirming for me because it's something that I struggle with. It's always really intimidated me, becoming a mother. And it was just one of those moments where 2 really important women in my life were really, and I think Tamara pulled out her birthing video. It was a whole thing.
I just kept eating my lobster fettuccine.
We were eating lobster. It was really, but it was. I really felt supported by women in my life who I admired immensely. In that moment, I felt really connected to you guys, and that was.
Well, my memory is when Dom announced she'd gotten you pregnant at ClexaCon 2019. I was like, wow! Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. I have so many of them.
You know what? This is not necessarily an expected one, but I rethought about when we were in your hotel room.
Oh my God.
Just recently at the last convention.
Yeah.
That last night was so special. It was so. No,
read the room, Dom.
It was the end of the convention. It was the end of the convention, and I came over to drop off the other 2 dresses in Kat's room, and we just sat on the bed and talked, and I felt like I was a 15-year-old girl again at a sleepover, and she was like, "Oh, I've got this new cream. It smells really nice." And I was like, "Oh, that's lovely." And I ended up staying in your room for so long, and I thought I just felt so connected to you in that moment. It was
beautiful.
really special.
I loved that. Yeah. I also have a memory of I don't know what we were doing. We were at your house, maybe during season 3, and you had made salad, and we were eating salad and talking about like some big life emotional, like we were both really feeling like we were both going through a big shift in our life. And I remember we were sitting on the 2 couches in your living room, and we were
eating a bulgur wheat salad. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Salad, yeah, and I just remember feeling like, because we had been apart for a long time, and I remembered feeling like we had come back together as different people. Like we had started in one place, had kind of grown apart a little bit, and then had come back, and it was like we were both stepping into a stage of our womanhood simultaneously, and it was really beautiful. Do you remember? Yeah,
I do remember. Yeah.
Hello. So if you, as your actual human selves, were dropped into the world of Wynonna Earp, which of the characters would you, 1, become instant best friends with, 2, who would drive you bonkers, and 3, who would you find particularly alluring?
Oh, what a great question. That's fun. I actually think Doc Holliday would drive me bonkers. Is that a weird thing to say? Yes, I don't know why. I think his like passiveness would drive me nuts. I'd be like, dude, shit's going down. Like, let's go. I was like, have you ever seen that Zootopia episode where she's in the DMV?
Yes.
And the rabbit? Like, I am the rabbit, 100%. And my husband Ray is definitely the fox. He just like enjoys watching me try to navigate the world with like, immense frustration and how glacial it moves sometimes. But that's I don't know. I think Doc Holliday would drive me nuts.
I feel like I'd be like Kristen, who got off the bus. I'd last like 2 minutes tops. Like, I would just be like, nope, like, I think I'd find them all alluring, kind of like when I go to a con with them and I'm like, I'm the writer with the actors, everything's okay. I'm supposed to be here holding my PCA so tight. Like, nope, I definitely am allowed to be here. I'm definitely one of them.
She's crazy beans.
I think I would find Wynonna both annoying and alluring. And I would want to be friends with her, but again, I'd be... so too bad, but that would be my answer.
Yeah, I think I would find Wynonna very intimidating as well. Who I feel like I would get on really well with Nicole. It's hard to think about me and then the characters. Do you know what I mean? You're like, okay, Dominique, going into the Wynonna world and getting along. I think I'd get on with everyone. They're all such great characters. Don't we all want to be friends with them all?
I feel like that's the most Dom answer possible.
Oh, God. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, but... Oh, God, my mind's gone completely blank. Sorry.
Thank you.
Good question.
So we probably only have time for 2 more questions.
Let's throw. Okay.
Hi, my name is Chris. I'm from Hungary.
All right. Woo! Andras, Hungarian. Okay,
sure. And my question is for Dom. Please don't hate me for it. My friend asked me to ask this question, but...
Your friend named Chris from Hungary?
No, my friend who's from Hungary, but not here. If Waverly had to choose between saving Nicole and Wynonna, and only could save one, who do you think it would be?
This is an illegal question in this panel.
Not mine, really.
Keep going.
It's an illegal question, isn't it? That is an illegal question. That is an illegal question.
I'm sorry. Blame my friend.
We're fighting for Wynonna right now, and this is just going to tear us apart.
There is no way Waverly would walk out of there with just one of them.
Yep.
No way. This wouldn't happen. Never.
I think perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Hello. I'm tall. Oh, real tall. Hey. So I'm getting my master's in writing and producing for television. Yeah. And my question for each of you, I know, Dom, you said that the Jolene, which phenomenal episode, I wish Shelley was here, was really hard for you. But besides that, like in season 3, as like the creator and as the actors, like what was the most challenging part of that season? Because I feel it had the most like crazy shit happen. So like, what was the hardest part about making it?
I think for me it was Dolls' death, like 100%. That was really, really hard. Both episode 2, when it happened with the car crash, and it was hard both physically because it was so cold and Mel was on the cliff and we all had to say goodbye to Shamir. And then I was extremely nervous personally about episode 3, the episode where it was sort of a celebration of him and yet a goodbye. Grief is like a very passive act. It's very sad. It's not very fun to watch, unfortunately. So I knew we had to have some fun and our bar brawl and whatnot. Again, I'm just always so impressed with you all and how open-hearted you are at accepting that stuff and being so generous about it. I think that was the hardest episode for me. I felt the same way with Mel's pregnancy. I feel like the fan response when it was discovered that Wynonna was pregnant, you could have left and you didn't. So that was amazing. But for me, it was definitely Dolls' death. Yeah, episodes 2 and 3.
No, it's okay. We're both in this. I can answer one first. I can do this. I can do this. I think that I found the last 4 episodes quite challenging, actually. There was no, not at all. There was just a lot of things to get your head round of all of the things that were happening in such quick intervals. Having a dad, not having.
Some would say too quick. I'm so sorry. But.
No, God, no, not like that. But just, I think it, in many ways, the fact that I having a dad, thinking you don't have not knowing who your dad is, finding out who your dad is Wynonna's boyfriend, like all of these things, it's just like, what?
Mom coming out of jail.
It was mental. And so it was more than anything trying to shift into how I would be feeling, and obviously we shoot out of order and making sure that it all flows nicely. But I think that the very fact that I felt like that actually lent itself quite well, because it came out into my performance, and in many ways I think that's how Waverly probably would be, just feeling like the ground is shifting beneath her feet and not being able to quite shift the gears quick enough. Yeah.
What about you, Kat?
It was a fun challenge to do the Maeve episode, which I was just always, I think I was really insecure of like if it was going to be too big or too much so it was just, and we shot all of it in one day, everything at that location in one day, and it was very, very fast. And that was the one where I was most nervous about watching, because I was just not feeling 100%. But it was super fun. It was awesome. But
wonderful too.
Thank you. And something you never have to be nervous about is us not loving you to pieces. Thank you to the 3 of you. And thank you to all of you.
Thanks,
Keep fighting for Wynonna.
Wow.
This is it. We've got to go.
Oh my God.
We ran over.
Oh my God,
Thank you, guys.
We love you guys. Thank you. Fight for Wynonna.